providing live finance advice on WMAC since 1993. It's time for Your Money with Steve Rosenberg, Sherri Goss, and Randy Goss. To participate in today's program, call 478-742-0940 with your financial questions or comments. And now live from the Macon studios of News Talk 940 WMAC, it's Your Money.
Morning and welcome to Your Money. Steve Rosenberg, Sherri Goss, and CT on the boards on this crummy Saturday morning. God, it's sprinkling downtown. We hit a little bit of sprinkles coming in.
Looks like, yeah, the movie people all moved out last night. It's crazy. It was everywhere, and now it's gone.
Really?
Yeah. Streets were shut down every day. I mean,
they got it finished, I guess. Huh?
I guess. Or they got tired.
Did they pay anybody for anything? I mean, other
what
than
do you
the
mean?
actors, I mean, like extras and stuff like that?
I didn't hear anything about extras. I didn't see any ads for that, but they paid a ton of money redoing all the storefronts, the awnings and the storefronts to make them look like shops that weren't closed, like that were not even there. It was pretty amazing, the money that they spent making it look like something for 1 week. And all the people, I mean, I don't even know how many people were here, had to be in a hotel and eating out, and it was huge.
Huh. What's the name of the movie?
Brooklyn. It's a series, but this is just one episode.
A pilot.
Oh, it's a pilot?
Yeah.
Ah.
If people like it, they'll make it.
Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
So the 15th annual Old Book Sale for you people like me that love books is happening next weekend. It starts on Thursday the 25th, and it's going to be at the Georgia National Fairgrounds. 90,000 books. The 25th through the 27th, which is Saturday. If you go on Thursday, you're going to pay $5 admission at the door. But people literally bring suitcases to this thing because you're talking about books for $1 that are normally $20, hardcover.
Yeah.
And so if you want a whole series, you can go just. I mean, it's amazing to see what people pile out of this.
House and County Friends of the Library.
Yep. So next weekend, if you go on Friday from 9 to 8, it's free. And then Saturday, they knock everything half price. So, fun.
Cool.
We're going to go to Gottwald's this afternoon because I'm finishing the last book of a series. I'm out of books, and I got to start the next something.
Which Gottwald?
Huh?
Which one do you go to?
I'm going to go to Riverside because it's here, because we're in town today. But what's amazing about Gottwald's is you can call any branch, whatever's closest to you, and you can give them the name of an author and a series, and they will call around to all the branches, and they will get all those books to that location for you, and then you just go pick them up. Unbelievable. And then you turn them in and get half your money back.
Wow.
I have a trunk full. Literally, between the books and the shoes that go to DSW and the books that go to Gottwald's, I've got a trunk full. It's fun.
Really?
It's like free.
So you go up and down the street and just take shoes
people's
off
shoes?
off the homeless people who are sleeping.
Hey, CT, can I have your shoes? Turn them into DSW. I get $5.
She walks out, there's a guy sleeping there. She just takes his shoes.
We have enough shoes.
They're passed out. Phew, they came out, too much beer, laying on the sidewalk. He takes their shoes.
$5 credit toward the next pair.
Lady. Oh,
but you have to go to DSW Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday to get the $5 credit for the one pair of shoes. You can turn it at a time. They know me by now. They're like, hey there. I've turned in 6 pairs of shoes we weren't wearing for $5. I can't get a deduction on my taxes anymore. Might as well.
Yeah.
All goes to a nonprofit, a good cause.
Yeah.
So take your shoes, but
and
wait.
And they're in good shape. I'm sure they're in great shape.
They're in great shape. Randy had almost knew that he couldn't wear them because they hurt his feet, and so they have to go. So they might as well go there. Anyways, that's a really good deal.
Wow.
What you got?
Anyway, let me give you the phone number, 7420940, if you would like to participate. We're with Rosenberg Financial Group. Our website is retirerelax.com. So if you would like, it's really easy to use.
Just a click.
Just a click. Just type in retirerelax.com. I'll do this with you. Retire.
And then special reports are up in the right-hand corner, which I couldn't see at first. I went to Randy and said, where's the special reports? He goes, look in the top right corner. They're right there. You just click on them. And there's all these reports about can I afford to retire, how to maximize your Social Security benefits, what to do if you inherit money, all that good stuff. I'm talking while you're dinking around.
I'm going to the website.
Yeah. Why is it taking so long?
Because it's on. It's on. Anyway. So, yeah, just like Sherri said, right-hand corner, all these free reports. And one of them I was going to kind of talk about because, if I find the article,
because
I'll never find it. Oh, there was an article in Kiplinger magazine about the case for a lump sum distribution from your pension. So when you retire from a company and you have a pension, we're not talking 401ks. We're talking if you have an actual pension, one of the options
lump sum rollover.
Lump sum rollover, or you can take it out over a period of time, or you can roll it into an IRA. So you got a number of options, and this was just saying that. And so you really the main choice you have is taking it out and rolling it over. Those are the two basic ones. I mean, you take it out and spend it. That's an option. You can convert it into lifetime income. That's an option. So or you can leave. You can't leave the pension there, but and the pension, then you get income the rest of your life, and then you decide if you want it over your life and your spouse's life and all that other kind of stuff.
Survivor benefit.
Yeah. So one of the reports that we have is, and it's at the bottom of the list on the website under free reports, is should I keep my retirement plan where it is or roll it to an IRA? And so that's always a decision you got to make because most people out there are after you to roll it over. And I had a couple in the other day that one of the people was one of the spouses was retiring, and she wanted to look at the options he had, and her husband was saying, she's got this, I kind of watch it, and he said, I kind of know what I want, and I said, well, then you just do it yourself. I said, you can roll it to one of the online fund companies or something like that, and you can manage it yourself. You don't need us, and because not everybody needs somebody. There's a lot of people who can just do it themselves. They feel comfortable with. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and that's a problem.
I don't see very many people, but that's who we attract, though. We attract people that want someone to do something for them because they don't want the stress of the market stresses them out. Yeah. Making decisions about the market stresses them out. They want someone else to handle it so they can just enjoy their retirement. And so that's who we serve.
Yeah, but and so in the process of providing free consultations, we're going to run into people who it's not brain surgery. I mean, you can if you know what you're doing and you have a feel for how it works.
For some people, it feels like brain surgery, though.
I know, and
they're not comfortable at all with it.
That's most people, and that's the people that we work with.
Right.
But then you got the people that can do it themselves. If you can do it anyway, so that report is on the website retirerelax.com. So the upper right-hand corner, like Sherri said, click the button. And there's a bunch of them on there. What's going to happen with my money when I die, about Social Security, about all kinds of stuff. So anyway, so go to the website, rfmoney.com.
Okay. So I got an alert this week from Apple because I have an iPhone, and it says try Apple News Plus for 1 month free. And I don't use any. I'm not going to do this, but it's $9.99 a month if you want to subscribe. And you get 300 publications every month. It just exhausts me thinking about it. Oprah, National Geographic, Rolling Stone, Bazaar, Popular Science, Men's Health, Time, Entertainment Weekly, Better Homes and Garden, Food and Wine. I mean, just gone on, and Wall Street Journal and the LA Times. And I am so tired of looking at things on a screen. My eyes, it just wears my eyes out. I like paper once in a while. I like to look at that's why I read physical books from Gottwalls. I have one of those e-reader things, and I don't use it. I use it for about a year, and it just feels like more strain on my eyes. In fact, we went to the eye doctor yesterday, and I'm going to do a whole report on this thing because we spent over $900. We both had exams. We both ordered glasses. Randy got the plan that if you break stuff all the time, because he breaks things constantly. The guy's like, do you need this plan? I said, yes, pay for that, because they'll be broken within a month. They'll explode somehow. Me, not so much. But I'm going to do a whole report on this, because when did eyeglasses become so expensive? And you have to go to somebody to get a prescription. You can't do it yourself. So there's no way around that, and you have to really get someone to make the first pair before you can buy them online. But I'm going to go down that whole rabbit hole because I used to do group insurance, and when I looked at group eye insurance, what I saw is basically what you pay into the insurance premium every month is the benefit amount that you get back out every year. Some dental plans are the same way.
Just an exchange of dollars.
Yeah, so you're just basically, you could put money into a savings account. But and this was with buy one, get one free. They had a special, and we spent over $900 because I can't read the teleprompter at Channel 13. It all of a sudden has just gone blank.
Really?
I show up, and I can't see the words. It's like right in the zone between my near and my far distance from each eye that I can't read it.
The reason we have to have a teleprompter is we have to get approved what Sherri says first.
I have to read exactly what I say I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It has to get
pre-approved by the compliance department, make sure she's not doing anything wrong or saying anything she shouldn't say.
And then we have to record it, and then we have to submit the recording afterward to show that I actually said what I said I was going to say. So I have to read the words, but like there would be words just missing. I noticed it about a month ago, and I found last week was so bad, I got to do something. So it's just interesting.
So what kind of glasses did you need for distance?
Well, so I got the exam, and so I've been really working on my vision to try to protect it and not let it get worse. So I'm doing things like taking breaks, looking distance, stop every hour, walk, look out the window. I try really hard to not just look at close-up things because I'm reading a book, of course, right? I'm reading a book about how to protect your vision and improve your vision naturally. And there's this thing called the Bates method. And so I've started trying to practice some of these things. And they're like, get away from the screen is the biggest thing. They said, if you're constantly staring at a screen that is so many inches away from your face, you're training your eyes to be nearsighted. So a couple of years ago in China, they came out with a mandate. They had so many children becoming nearsighted, it was like an epidemic. And so they have mandated now that children have to go outside and have recess time so many times a day so they get exposure to distance vision.
Really?
Yes, because it's just, think about it. It's only makes sense. If you're sitting at a screen all day long, so every hour, get up, walk around, look out the window, and let your eyes see something at a distance. And so my eyes have not gotten worse. The last exam I had was in 2015. They have not gotten worse, but they've shifted a little bit. Like my one eye is less farsighted than it used to be, but the other eye is more nearsighted. It's like they have both shifted enough that I just have got this gap all of a sudden. But I'm going to keep working on it because I'm not going to wear these all the time. I'm only going to wear them when I have to, and I'm going to keep working on it to see if I can improve my vision naturally because I think it's very possible based on what I'm reading. But you have to work at it. I mean, it's just like you going out and walking around the building. Mm-hmm. Are you doing that every hour?
We have to do it 5 times a day.
So talk about that.
Okay, so we have the teacher's retirement health plan and Medicare supplement deal from United Healthcare. And so one day in the mail we get these little like Fitbits, but they're just like really cheap things. They're not like
not the nicey kind, but the cheapo kind.
Yeah, but when I got Fitbits, I sent those back because that was ridiculous. But anyway, so it's a thing. And so what you have to do is you don't have to. If you walk, you get points for frequency. In other words, how often you walk, and you get points for doing so many steps in a day. So if you do 5 frequency walks, which means you have to walk 5.
A flood warning has been issued for Crawford County, Talbot County, Taylor County, and Upson County, effective until 11:16 p.m.
Yes,
exactly
that was so smart of you back in the day.
I knew it in advance. When I built that building, I just knew. I knew it. So anyway, so you do that 5 times a day, and you get a point. And if you do 7,500 steps in a day.
So what you should do is take your glasses off when you do your stepping, and you'd be giving your eyes some exercise without your glasses to look at distance vision without the aid of that.
I've been wearing glasses since I was 12 or 13 because I've always been nearsighted. Always been nearsighted. I don't need them to read. I wear them all the time. I got bifocals or
right.
Whatever. And so I do that. So anyway, and you get a point. And if you get just those 30 days in a month, so conceivably you could get 30 points. But if you get 10 points in a month,
do you get $1 off your premium?
You get they give you free health care for life. No, so you can get up to $10 a month in gift cards.
Up to $10 a month in gift cards?
Right.
And you just pick whichever one you want?
Right. Nancy? $10 a month for gift cards? I think so. Yeah, I think something like that. $10.
So there's your Christmas right there. You can just walk every day and get free stuff.
And they we haven't gotten our gift cards yet, so we don't know what the first, because this we've just done 1 quarter's worth. And listen, Nancy and I exercise. We go to the fitness center almost every day anyway. So I mean, we're doing stuff. It's like you guys are always doing stuff. But I'd say, well, what the heck? It's kind of fun, I'm sitting there.
But it's good for you to get outside.
And my phone buzzes, and I get up and walk around the building a couple times, come back in, and
we really should make the ladies at the office do it. They need to get away from their computers. They're staring at those screens all day long. It's not healthy.
Yeah.
And so I've told them, go outside, go walk around the building. Take your eyes off the screen. You have to take a break from this stuff. It's not healthy to stare at a computer screen all day. Or if you're in a building, an office building, and you can't go outside, just go up and down the stairs. That's what I used to do when we were in Atlanta. We would take a break, and we were on the 12th floor. And so you could just walk to the floor and walk up the stairs just as a break. It's just good for your body to get out and move around and see something different.
The other thing that's very convenient, and not only did I build the building to make sure it was 400 steps twice around, is when we built the house, I had a cul-de-sac, and down to the end of the cul-de-sac and back is 400 steps.
Wow, look at you. How smart.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So we built a house, 20 years ago. I knew this was coming. Anyway, but it's fun. I mean, as I say, we exercise, Nancy and I, we're at the fitness center 5-6 days a week on average. So we're always doing something.
You don't even have to pay for it.
Yes, United Healthcare is paying with that silver sneakers, and so that's free too because I got the silver sneakers plan. So in Word Kinetics, and Edge, when we were at Edge and Robbins took it.
What? We have a phone call.
So anyway, 742-0940 is the number. Good morning. You're on your money with Sherri and Steve.
Good morning.
Will you tell me the shoe store that you get $5?
Yeah.
For a pair of shoes.
It's a DSW is at River Crossing Mall. It's the only place I buy shoes because I go to the clearance racks and I'll find stuff that I want marked way down. And so I troll through there if I need a pair of shoes. But if you take a used pair of shoes by on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you just get in the line like you're checking out. Do you have an account there yet? Oops. We lost her. So you need to have an account at DSW. So you go in there and you give them your phone number and whatever identifiers, your name. And so you just give them your phone number, just like at Kroger, have your number, whatever. And they'll bring in a pair of shoes. And they just have to be, I had a pretty rotten pair of tennis shoes and they took those. They were pretty torn up, but we're talking all the shoes go to this nonprofit called Souls for Souls, which goes in like after a Hurricane Katrina and people have lost everything. They sweep in and bring shoes and clothes for people that have lost everything. So it all goes to a good cause. You can't write it off on your taxes anymore, probably because of all of the increase in the standard deduction. And so you might as well give it to a charity that's going to do some good and then get money back. So every pair, if you turn them in on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, you can only do one pair at a time. You get 50 points, which is equal to $5. So I've turned in 5 or 6 pairs, and I've got all this money sitting in my account now. And then you get coupons on top of it. You get discounts. You get emails. Tons.
DSW?
Yeah.
If they go under, you're going to know who put them under.
They're not going to go under because they are under contract to sell CBD products.
What's CBD?
Cannabinoid, the oil, not the THC, but the hemp stuff. They have signed a contract to be a distributor for CBD products.
The shoe store?
Yes. I might be mixing this up with Ulta. It might be Ulta instead, but one of them is. One of them is under a contract.
What's Ulta?
Is the makeup and hair supplies and all that right next to DSW, which is the only place I buy any of that stuff because I get coupons and I can go in a 40% off coupon. I can go in and buy one item and save almost, it's huge. You just have to pre-plan this stuff, just like the Kroger, just keep all your coupons. And if you see a good one and you're running out of shampoo, which is expensive, I go in there and I'll get half off. for nothing. All it takes is the effort of printing out a coupon. It's just not hard.
Too bad you don't have a coupon for your taxes, huh?
Yeah, that would have been nice this year. Get out of jail free card.
You got slammed.
Horrible.
Because of the tax law change, right?
Yeah, because of the state tax exemption that I lost. They capped it out at $10,000, and we pay tons. And I lost that. That's what killed us. So all the money I donated and all that stuff was, I didn't really get credit for it. But
that's why for people over 70.5, they can make their charitable donations out of their retirement account.
Still probably won't be able to count it.
No, you don't count it. You don't count it.
That's what you're saying. Yes. Go ahead and just do it and not even worry about it.
Yeah, so
just
if
give it
you're over
direct to a
70.5, you can take a required minimum distribution, have that check made payable to your charity, to church, or the Red Cross, or whoever you want it to go to, and you don't pay tax on it.
And you can't get a deduction anyway, so it's like, why not?
So money just comes right out.
That makes more sense now than ever.
Yeah, it really does with the change in the tax laws. They changed tax laws, and everybody tells you all the good stuff about it, and obviously nobody tells you the bad stuff. And nobody realizes the bad stuff till they file the taxes. That's the thing. You don't know what a tax law says until you file your taxes a year after the law check. Because
it's too complicated. There's so many things.
Yeah. And everybody just tells you what they want you to hear anyway.
So last week I talked about the ABLE account, and this is an account. It's an investment account that you can open for someone who is on disability. And so I had talked about it because in Georgia it's called the Stable account. So you can Google Georgia Stable. It's actually georgiastable.com is the website, and learn about it because you can put so much money into this account for the benefit of a person who is on disability, and they don't lose benefits. So if you had somebody who was inheriting some money, it could go into this account instead of going directly to them and keep them from losing their benefits is the whole point. So we had a caller last week who said what she's heard is that if you do this and you have money in the account and you die, the government takes the money. And I said, I've got to call because I need to understand this because I have a few people that I'm recommending this to. And so I called the 800 number. I got on the phone with someone within a couple minutes. And she said, there is a thing called the Medicaid clawback rule. And so the account is protected as long as the person is alive. And they have to have been on Medicaid since before opening the account. Okay? Then they pass away. And that makes that money eligible for this Medicaid clawback. She said, but the family or the estate can use the money, the remainder in the account, to pay for funeral, burial expenses, medical expenses at the end of your life. And after that, Medicaid can take the rest of the money back because they can. They just can. If they've been paying for your benefits all this time, just like the nursing home thing.
Right.
You're in a nursing home, Medicaid's paying for it, you die, they're going to come after your estate. It is what it is. And so I said to the lady, it sounds to me like this should be just used as a flow-through then. Like every month, so much money goes into the account, and then it gets paid out toward health, your housing, utilities, whatever your needs are, medical expenses. And she said yes, she would not have a bunch of money sitting in this account because you can't have as much as $468,000. That's your lifetime limit that you can put into this account. But it makes no sense to do that if Medicaid is going to take it back. So there's the bottom line of that.
Oh, okay. We got that cleared up. So it's good that person called.
Mm-hmm. It was very good.
A lot of people travel out of the country. And so, and sometimes Medicare will pay for, because we got it, I'm sure you do. Do you have a lot of clients who travel? I got a lot of clients who.
I have a few.
Yeah, my clients are older than your clients. So I got a lot of people that travel. And so the question always comes up, what's really covered under Medicare and what's not covered under Medicare.
Have you ever had to get health care overseas when you've been on your cruises?
I've had to get health care on a ship, and it just was a couple tests and a prescription for an infection or something. And we did, one time Nancy got sick. So back then, our health insurance didn't pay for it. When I got it, the health insurance, Medicare paid for it on a cruise. So that's the thing. So Medicare usually doesn't cover you Doesn't cover care you receive while traveling outside the United States, except in very limited circumstances, such as on a cruise ship within 6 hours of a U.S. port. Well,
So make sure you get sick early.
Or late. But that doesn't make any sense. You're within 6 hours of the port. So that means you're either heading back or heading out. And so
I guess that's in case they need the medical.
That's a very small portion of the cruise.
Right.
I mean, you'll be gone for a week or whatever you're gone for, and there's a 12-hour period that you can get sick. So that doesn't make any sense. Or 6. But Medicare Supplement pays 3 through G, M through that cover 3 through G, C through G, and M and N cover 80% of the cost of emergency care abroad with a lifetime limit of $50,000. Some Medicare Advantage plans cover emergency care abroad, and we have friends that the husband had some kind of a heart attack on the ship, and
some kind of a heart attack.
Yeah, because there's different ways you can have heart attacks, right?
Okay.
And so I don't know which one it was, but anyway, so they were near Santorini, the Greek island, and so they took him off the ship, took him to the hospital on Santorini. Santorini could not. This was beyond what they had the capacity to do.
Because nobody works there anymore.
No, it's a gorgeous island. You would love it.
No, the hospital. Everybody's retired. Nobody's working over there. So who are you going to see?
Where?
In Greece.
They're working.
They are?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, people work in Greece. Take a lot of time off, but they work. Anyway, so then they had to airlift him. They had to airlift him to Athens, the hospital. They gave his wife an apartment to stay in, and but she had to pay, so she paid. She teaches retirement, so she paid, submitted it, and got reimbursed from the insurance company. So that in that case, teacher's retirement kind of pays for it. So that's doesn't cover emergency evacuation and stuff like that. See, what we've done sometimes is we'll just buy a pretty inexpensive something to cover emergency evacuation. If we got to fly you home on a special plane or whatever. But I don't know. We might start. And then you can buy insurance when you book a cruise. You can buy insurance that if you cancel it, because of sickness
or storms.
No,
just if you get sick, you're canceling the cruise.
You're canceling the cruise because you can't make it. You get sick, or you died, or something like that. Your spouse, whatever. That's trip cancellation insurance. So if you just can't make the cruise, but that's separate too. But those can be all. So we've never really done that either.
Randy got sick when we were in Costa Rica, and we just had to pay out of pocket, but it was dirt cheap.
Yeah. So anyway, and then so this thing just went through. There was like a Medicare quiz. Does it pay for outpatient prescription drugs? And it doesn't cover outpatient prescription drugs if you have traditional Medicaid, but you can get Part D, which I guess most people probably get.
You have to get D, or you get penalized. The drug? So you're on a combo plan, so you don't have to pick a D because it's part of your Advantage plan.
Of my plan, yeah. So, and anyway, yeah, I think everybody pretty well knows what it does. So, forget that. I'm tired of Medicare. Hearing aids. Medicare doesn't cover routine hearing exams or hearing aids.
Now, I have people that are very frustrated with that.
Which can cost
hearing
as much
aids are really expensive.
$3,000 per ear.
Which is a ripoff. It's just like the glasses thing.
Yeah.
It's because you have to go through the guy to get the testing done so you can even get the hearing aid. And their technology is going to squish that like a bug. That is on the way out.
So anyway, Nancy, when we were at the beach a couple weeks ago, she saw some ad for like really cheap hearing aids. And with a money-back guarantee, they come from China or something like that. And so she got them, and they were totally worthless.
But that's coming. The technology is improving, and this business of having to pay hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for this kind of thing is going to be wiped out. In fact, there was a guy last year I read about, I talked about it on the show, that he was applying for a patent to sell hearing aids over the counter. So that if you know you have a problem, you could go in and just buy them yourself.
Right.
And he got cut down by the FDA.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Because they're controlling the market.
Yeah.
They want you to have to pay all this money to somebody that's a provider, and it's going to go away. The eyeglass thing, the hearing aid thing, all of it is going to get squashed with technology once the FDA opens the door for change. I mean, I couldn't believe the vision guy we were talking to yesterday. He said their business was up 50%. I mean, people are because of the tablets and everybody's staring at all these computers all the time. More people are needing glasses because they don't understand what they need to do to not need glasses. And so their business is booming, and it's only a matter of time. The whole thing's going to shift into, I mean, you probably can't do your own eye exam, but I could see somebody opening a website where you can do it.
No reason you can't do your own eye exam. They think about it. All you got to do is look in that thing and just keep clicking one way or the other. Is this better? Is this better? Same thing they're doing. I mean, it's not like they're doing anything.
But they're also actually looking in your eye to see if you have glaucoma or some other. I mean, there's some of that. But I think for basic stuff, there's going to be some opportunity here for someone to create some kind of internet website where you can go do it yourself. We have a friend who's so frustrated with hearing aids because they never work right, and you spend thousands of dollars and they're buzzing or they cut off, and he's in a room with a bunch of people talking and he can't hear because everyone's talking, and he's so aggravated, and he didn't want to spend money, so he was buying stuff online that didn't work, and he's so frustrated that he just quits wearing them because it's like, I'm so sick and tired of this. It's a very big problem, and now with everybody getting older, this is where it's going to shift. You're going to have the pendulum shifting the other direction, where so many frustrated people are going to be willing to do something on the internet to fix the problem, because the people in the business aren't going to fix it because they make money off the problem. They have no skin in the game to fix it or to make your hearing better or to keep you from losing your hearing. Like, we go to the gym. Randy turned on his decibel meter last week when we went to the gym because the music is so loud. We wear earplugs. And so I don't understand all these people that don't wear earplugs in loud places, because that's what creates hearing loss, is being in a loud, like go to concerts, go to stuff where it's all really loud. You're damaging your hearing. And so we told the guy that runs the gym, within the first month of going to this place, I said, this causes hearing loss. You're sitting here trying to make people healthy, but you're going to cause hearing loss. I don't understand you letting these trainers play this super loud music. I don't get it. So he ordered earplugs. He has a whole bag of them just because we griped about it. And then I griped. They did one of those things where you get the secret squirrel email where you can complain about things if they're not right. I said, you've got to turn the volume down. And so he comes up to me and he goes, oh, yeah, I got your email. I said, that was supposed to be confidential, and you're not supposed to know that I'm the one who said it. It's supposed to go to the owner. Oh, well, I get to see all those, and then I tell the owner. I said, well, you've got to cut the volume down. This causes hearing loss. What are you thinking? Oh, well, it's what the trainers want to do. You have to control your own self. So if you go to a place that's loud, you need to have your earplugs, and put them in your ears and not damage your hearing while you're trying to get healthier at a gym. Stupid. I mean, just totally stupid. And if you're out in your shop doing woodworking, you need to wear hearing protection. I mean, it's just common sense. But, I mean, so it's some things you can control, but other things you can't. You get older, stuff starts happening. But, I mean, you need to take it because other people aren't going to care. They don't care if they're damaging your hearing. They don't care. I mean, on the I don't care, Randy and I each almost got run over in Kroger parking lots this week. Have you had this? I was walking behind cars with a cart. I'm tall, wearing a white dress, in broad daylight, walking, and this guy in a huge white truck just starts backing up right onto me. I had to run with the cart. It's like, you have to look out for yourself. No one's looking out for you. You got to go out there and do this yourself.
Let me tell you what I think is amazing. When we leave the fitness center, and so we go to Kinetics.
So they don't play really loud music there.
No, it's not real loud.
No, they do a good job.
So anyway, Kinetics is in the same shopping center as Kroger. And so you have to drive past Kroger. You know, they got two entrances to the Kroger store. Which is a
crazy mess.
With the lines in the street. And people walk out of Kroger's, don't look. They just assume because their lines are in the street, people are going to stop.
They shouldn't do that.
They don't even look. They just walk like they're oblivious. Like it's like a get out of jail free card. If you get hit by a car, it doesn't count because
I don't understand
somebody's going to
it.
get hit because people aren't even paying attention.
It's all day long. I don't understand. People are so oblivious. And the other thing that people need to step up is your situational awareness. So we walk around. In fact, this morning I was walking down here. I was right behind a guy who had his earbuds in, staring at his phone, walking down the sidewalk. I could have whacked him over the head and taken his wallet. He would have no clue what happened to him. You've got to be aware of what's going on around you. You've got to look. And is someone trying to steal your purse? I mean, I'm in Kroger, and I'm always looking at who's lingering around or too close to me because we lived overseas. And once you live overseas and you experience that and you have people that are trying to rob you, it kind of gets ingrained in you that I'm aware of everything around me all the time. I don't want to be around any chaos or mayhem. First sign of any of it, I'm gone. But people need to really be aware because people are not paying attention, whether they're going to drive right over the top of you. And they won't know until they hear the thud. But Randy was walking with his groceries in Kroger parking lot, and some lady came zipping through diagonally against all the lanes because she wanted this spot up front. She just comes charging through and almost hit him this week. We both had the same experience. It's like, so you better pay attention because nobody else is.
Yeah.
Anywho, how did we get onto that? So there was a great article.
Welcome to Saturdays with Sherri.
So, did you see this article in the Wall Street Journal about baby boomers and the art of parenting adult kids?
No.
Do your kids call you every day?
I don't talk to them that often.
See, that's normal.
Yeah.
We're not normal. We talk to our daughter almost every day she calls.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't used to be this way, but they're starting a business, and so they're asking for advice. But then they had a baby, and they're asking for advice, and then they go through the dogs. And
my kids never ask for advice.
Really?
And if I ever gave it to them, they didn't want to hear it. So I figured, okay, and they're doing a great job without me.
I know ours are doing a great job too, but it's she's constantly calling, asking for advice.
I don't call that often.
It used to be she'd ask for advice, and we'd tell her, and then she'd get mad. And so then we learned to not give advice and to just be real vague. Like, well, you're going to make a good choice. It's okay. You know, actually she was in her 20s. Well, now she's over 30, and now she really wants advice. It's weird. But this is talking about how, what not to do. And see, this is where I'm really bad. Tips for boomer parents dealing with adult kids. 1, don't give unsolicited advice. I do.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll boss them all over the place.
I know.
If they don't listen, it's their problem. So I don't follow that advice.
My theory is you learn from your mistakes.
That's number 2. Let your kids make mistakes.
You only learn from mistakes. That's how you learn. And
we also learn from success. There's 2 sides to this.
Yeah, no, but you don't learn from success. You learn from mistakes.
Yes, you do.
You learn what not to do, and you stop doing the stuff you shouldn't do.
And you do more of the things that you should do because you learned that helped you.
Yeah, but I mean, mainly you got to stop. You've got to learn from your mistakes, because you've learned from a mistake is you've learned the one way not to do it. That's what it is. You know not to do this because it doesn't work.
Or you keep doing it over and over.
Oh, yeah. That's the definition of insanity. Keep doing it over and over again and expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. But so the kids they rarely, when we talk, we're just, having fun conversations. But, they don't want.
But your kids are how old? 40s?
Jeff will be 50, right?
See, that changes a lot.
He was born.
They've already gone. They're already there. They've already done what they're going to do.
But even when they were young, let me just say this: the only time when Jeff and Jody had our first grandson, they came to the beach, and they had all kinds of stuff packed for him, just for like 5 days at the beach.
Right.
And I said, God, I can't believe you brought
drag all this junk here.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Well, yeah. So now I can't do this right. That kind of stuff. I said, okay, that was it. And so I never, and kids very successful. They're both very successful, and they just take care of themselves. And
see, this next generation is different. So ours are around 30.
Yeah.
And they're way different. Randy talks to our son probably almost every day, but just because of the business that our son's running. But the daughter, she calls just wanting to tell us what's going on almost daily. I mean, there's times I feel guilty. I don't answer the phone. Because she calls and it's like, I'm tired. Can't handle it right now. I'll just not answer it. And then I'll call her the next day and say, hey, I missed your call. What's going on? It's usually just something like the baby learned how to do something.
She's not listening to this show.
Yes, she doesn't. I thought about that.
Well, it's only 6 o'clock there, so she's sleeping anyway. Probably.
But it's weird. It says boomers are the first group of parents in the psychological era when therapy became more commonplace and relationships were more closely examined. Their own parents were concerned about a child being safe, getting a job, and getting married. That's all my dad ever cared about. He'd call me once a quarter.
We wanted to get rid of you.
Yes. Yeah. He'd call once a quarter and say, how's your job? Do you still have a job? Are you doing okay? And, dating that Randy guy still? Yep. Oh, 5 minutes, boom. He'd be off the phone. Once a quarter, he would just do like a call-in checkup thing. That's all he cared about. He never even asked if I was going to church or are you eating healthy. I mean, none of that ever existed until now, and now it's all in the weeds of everything. You're gluten intolerant, you're dairy intolerant, recipes, and I don't know. It's just we're more involved than we've ever been, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah, but you always controlled them kind of anyway, right?
What do you mean I control them?
Well, I mean, you always said telling them what they had to do and what they needed to do and all this kind of stuff. Because you've said in the past, we
started in high school.
You got in their business all
the time.
And I didn't get in my kids' business.
When they were in high school, I was all in their business because I was looking at the grades every week, and we would have a family meeting on Sunday nights and have the printout. And so Preston was grounded his entire senior year. It's like, you got a C, you're grounded this week. You were tardy twice, you're grounded this week. Every Sunday night we'd have a family meeting and talk about what are we doing, what's going on, what are we going to eat this week, do we have any plans for something fun to do, you guys have plans. So we were all on the same page, but that was part of it. That's what started it. But we had to be on top of them because this was the first generation of children that had cell phones. So, for example, they had cell phones, so Preston would go to bed and leave his phone on, and people would be texting all night. And he'd get up in the morning exhausted from his thing, ping, 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 all night long. So, no, the rules are, before you go to bed, the phone goes on the kitchen counter, period. End of story. And so that was, you have to lay down the law to protect them from themselves because they don't realize they're going to hurt themselves being stupid.
So your kids are a different generation.
It's a different generation. So I had to get in their stuff, but they would date people, and afterwards I'd be like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking with this person you just went on this date with? And Randy's like, you really shouldn't be in their stuff. I said, I don't really care. If I think they're making a bad choice, I'm going to point it out, and they can either take it or leave it. And if they get mad at me over it, so what? But they've both come back and thanked me for stuff I've said that kept them from doing something stupid. You got to keep them from it because all their friends are doing stupid stuff. So I don't really care if they like it or not. And now if they ask me, and I'll say exactly what I think, and if you take it or leave it, whatever. But I don't push myself on them now because they're adults. But when they were in high school, absolutely, I was on them relentlessly about everything, grades, everything. Because somebody had to be, because nobody else is going to do it. This is the funniest one. So our kids had all these chores. So Preston's chore was the yard, the entire yard, all of it, edging, cutting, trimming shrubs, the whole 9 yards. So Shelby was in charge of the kitchen, and they did their own laundry. And it's because you live here and you benefit from this house that we're paying for, that you enjoy. So you have skin in the game. You're going to be in this. So our son comes home one day, and he says, he was a senior in high school. He goes, I've got these two friends that both moved out of their homes, and they rent an apartment together. It's a guy and a girl. They're friends. They're not dating. And they've asked me if I want to move in with them, and I think I want to, because he wanted to escape the chore hell. And so I said, how's that going to work? He said, well, they have an extra bedroom. I could just rent it at so much a month, and I could keep my part-time job that I've got. He was working at a golf cart shop, so making his own money, paying his own gas. And I said, well, if you move out, we're not paying your bills. You're going to be responsible for your car insurance, your food, everything. We're not paying a dime if you move out of this place. He just looked at me like this shocked stare. And I said, so you choose. If you want to move out, you move out, but we cut you off, period. He came in that night. He's like, I think I'm going to stay here. I've got it pretty good with all these meals and sodas and in-car insurance and a nice room and heat and cool, kind of these nice things you take, for granted. And it's not like we're mean. You just have to cut the grass. That's all we're asking of you. That's all you have to do is show up, do what you're supposed to, do your chores. It's all good. But it's funny because they see other people thinking that they've got some easier gig, and it's not easier. Stay home, do what you're supposed to, then go out and work and be successful. That's the plan. So if I saw them doing something that was going to take them down the wrong road, I absolutely got in their business, and I will not apologize. More people should do it. Step up and be a parent.
Yeah, we just grounded our kids.
Well, that's what Press was grounded all the time.
That was the easy way to do it.
It is easy. Threatened to take away his car. That works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
Oh, no, I just happen to have this article. It says Medicare doesn't cover hearing aids, but retirees have options.
Oh, what are the options?
This comes from Kiplinger. It starts out with a typical article. It's a certain thing happened to this guy, and he had So baby boomers are sometimes reluctant to take even the first step of getting a hearing test, seeing it as a sign of aging and fearing having to wear that brown plastic thing behind your ear. Not to mention that hearing aids can be expensive, as much as $3,000 a year, and they are not covered by Medicare and only sometimes by other insurance. Hey, Nancy, does United Healthcare pay?
It pays $1,000 every 4 years.
Okay, so the Medicare supplement we have through United Healthcare, $1,000
every 4 years. She said. But how often do you have to get new hearing aids? About every 4 years.
She'd
so they've
like
already
to get them every day because it's like everybody else. She hates them.
I have the same complaints everybody has.
Yeah, that's all I hear is complaints. Even the people that have the new, really expensive one that you can control with your phone, where you can say, I'm in a restaurant, I'm at a concert, I'm in a grocery store, and it changes how it picks up the sound. It's supposed to be better. I've heard that's not even any good. Oh, you do have them and they're not that great? Okay, like thousands of dollars. Somebody's got to fix this problem. Everybody's needing this. This is ridiculous.
So the FDA controls it. So they have these cheapies that you can use, but they're not considered medical devices or regulated by the FDA, which is probably good. I mean, why should the FDA have to regulate hearing aids, for crying out loud?
Because people will sell garbage like what?
But they sell garbage anyway, and they get a lot of money for it. So most people who have them are not happy with them anyway. So why do they have to go through that? Why should the FDA control something?
It's just a scam. It's a scam like the pharmaceutical industry and everything else where the government controls. And then you got people on. So this is that guy I mentioned earlier that he has an over-the-counter solution to this. The people could pay cheap, and the FDA will not let him do it because they control the market. So you have to pay thousands of dollars, just like the eyeglass thing.
The FDA has up to 3 years to write regulations and set safety and labeling standards for authorized over-the-counter devices. I mean, so why does it take 3 years to regulations when they've been regulating hearing aids all these years anyway? It's going to take them 3 years?
Meanwhile,
it's the government, that's why.
You can go to Walmart and buy all these supplements. Endless amounts of supplements that are not regulated.
Yes.
You can't even tell what's actually in those capsules. If you're buying garbage over the counter at Walmart, you have no idea what you're taking. You're wasting your money on all of those supplements because who knows how long it's been laying around, who knows what's actually in them. There's been tons of reports about that, and they're asleep at the wheel when it comes to the drugs and all of the supplements. That I find egregious. It's ridiculous. And this vaping thing is my last straw. This Juul that all these middle school and high school kids are now addicted to nicotine because they get their hands on these vaping things that are way stronger than a regular cigarette. That company should be sued out the wazoo. It is so wrong how they're letting that stuff creep out in the market, and I just get so angry about that. I can't stand it. When I see people vaping, I just can't stand it. They have no idea what they're doing to themselves. Highly addictive, and the FDA is asleep at the wheel, letting them sell this stuff without any approval or proof or anything or warning, and they're just finally starting to get a grip on, oh, this is bad. We let this happen, and now these kids are addicted to nicotine, and there's no treatment for a kid. The treatments are only for adults. There's nothing to do for a kid, a middle schooler that's addicted to nicotine. They don't know how to handle it.
That's why Neil Boortz called the FDA the federal dumb agency. because they're horrible. So anyway, so it says in this guide, there's a hearing aids guide at hearingloss.org. So that if you're looking at hearing stuff, I guess I don't know, hearingloss.org. Take advantage of hearing aid discounts. Costco offers its own brand of hearing aids and other hearing devices. Drugstore chain CVS has opened 32 hearing centers in 7 states with plans to expand this year. The company's probably the single cost devices range from $400 to $2,500.
Wonder where they're made.
Says, I don't know. Try a high-tech device. It's not a hearing aid. Hearing technology company Nuheara, Nuheara, sells wireless earbuds that work with a smartphone app up to about $300 a pair. Wearers can tune out background noise at restaurants, offices.
Yeah, I know somebody who has that, and it doesn't work. They're very frustrated. They spent like $10,000.
Yeah, Nancy's tune out stuff too, and it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No.
Technology's out there.
And different people have different pitch voices.
Right.
Right. So you're dealing with all these different people that and you can't have something that works for everybody. And then you're in a place where it's noisy, and all the rattling, and you got the waiters and the dishes and all that other kind of stuff.
Imagine the person that fixes this one. The person that figures this out is going to be a bazillionaire.
So I guess, but still, the FDA has to approve everything, even the over-the-counter ones?
Not if you're buying it from a foreign country.
Yeah, well, that's what Nancy tried.
Amazon Prime.
She did. She sent them back. She contacted them, and they didn't really respond, so she just called American Express and contested it, and she got her money back.
Good. Which people need to do that more. If something is not what you think, what you were told it was going to be, you need to reject it and get your money back.
Yeah.
And not just go, oh, well,
And the credit card company immediately gives you credit in most cases. So you get the credit. They take it off right away, but it's kind of in a limbo state. It's not off, but it's you don't have to pay it. So if you contest a charge, you don't have to pay that charge until the thing is resolved one way or the other. And most of the time it gets resolved in the cardholder's favor.
In your scenario.
Yeah. In my scenario.
See, I never use that. I just reject it with Amazon. If something comes in and it's not what I thought.
That's different.
Right.
I've sent back stuff to Amazon, but I'm not talking about buying the hearing aids. You actually should probably buy them on Amazon because you got a better shot at returning them.
I would think.
Because you'll get a credit right away.
Right. Immediate.
Yeah. You tried Amazon?
But somebody's going to fix this problem. The eyeglass and the hearing aid thing is going to reach a tipping point, and somebody will figure it out.
If the government lets them.
It won't matter if they're from overseas. If they're from some foreign country.
Yeah, hearing aids, that's true. But as far as glasses, if you know what your prescription is, people order glasses over the counter all the time.
Right.
Through mail.
I'm going to do a whole thing on that. Clark Howard has ramped up his website. It is so amazing now. It used to be just articles. Now, but when I was researching stuff for this talk that I did to these seniors last week, he has tutorials now on how to get off, like how to cut the cable. And he has tutorials about all of this kind of thing. So, and he has a whole thing on shopping online for eyeglasses. I'm going to get into that since we just went through that. Anywho.
You do a special report, right?
No, I'm just going to talk about it on the show. I think when Randy and I do the next show, we're going to talk about how to save money on all of these things. And we're going to roll it into one show that we can then maybe try to podcast it. Because I have clients telling me they want us to podcast this show for some reason. But if I focus on maybe one focused thing, like saving money on things that everybody buys, like glasses and hearing aids and those kind of things, it could be worth podcasting. Today's rant, I'm not so sure.
But still, I mean, if you're driving, I listen to podcasts in the car because if you're driving in a car, I'll listen to a lot. If you like, I tell you what, if people, I listen to podcasts in the car when I can. Most of them are, the football stuff, but Mo Rocca, who's on CBS Sunday Morning Show, has a show called Mobituaries. It's a podcast, just a free podcast.
That's a great name.
Yeah. So anyway, and he's so great when he explains stuff, and he just takes people that have died and just go through their lives and all the crazy stuff that's happened. It's really cool. And it's a free podcast.
There's tons of free podcasts you can download if you just go in the Apple App Store or the podcast app. There's tons of them, of everything from health and fitness to spirituality to anything you want to learn is out there because people are making a ton of money on this now because they sell advertising. Yeah. I have a client that was in the other day, and he was disappointed because his daughter is graduating from college, and she's got a job as a blogger. And he's like, I don't even know what that is. I said, oh, my God. I said, people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars blogging on topics that instead of being published in a physical publication, they're blogging and they're getting picked up. If the articles are good, they could get picked up by everybody.
So anyway, we're out of time. If you'd like to learn more about Rosenberg Financial Group, go to retirerelax.com. Our free reports are there. What we do is there. There's a video that tells you what we do. If you'd like a complimentary consultation, give us a call. Have a great week, and we will be back with you. Yes. I'm out of town next week.
You are?
Yeah, Sherri and Randy next week.
The views expressed on this show should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities or services mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risk, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should only be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Securities are offered through Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services are offered through Rosenberg Financial Group, a registered investor advisor not affiliated with Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated. Offices are located at 2517 Moody Road, Warner Robins, and 4875 Riverside Drive, Suite 201 in Macon. Phone numbers are 922-8100 and 741-4457.